I don't know how it got to this, but I don't fucking care. Get your shit together because this is me having mine. Still airing an episode despite going through the fucking trouble to organize an episode for your artist and now having to air this one instead. Welcome to UNSHUT, a place where if at any point you feel like you need to shut the up, don't. Welcome to the first episode I've had to scratch and replace with a solo episode. I really wanted to come on here and play it off cool, but to be honest with you, I'm pissed as fuck about it, so I'm going to talk my shit because I fucking can. I was recently pitched an artist for the show that I happen to really like. If you're new here, then you don't know that I don't often accept submissions for the show, but this doesn't mean that I haven't accepted submissions before. However, I do have a very strict policy on how submissions work. You see, when an artist is pitched to me, I set some very clear expectations. Expectations that I don't necessarily set when I'm the one that's pursuing the artist. So when this artist was pitched to me, I said yes, as long as they would agree to accepting a collaboration on Instagram whenever I would announce them as the next guest. This is nothing new, and I always disclaimer failure to accept the collaboration means scratching the episode. It just so happens that up to date, this hasn't happened yet. However, I would be naive to think that it would never happen, right? But why do I do that? Well, that's because I value the fucking effort that goes into every single episode that I air. I copyright the audio, I prep questions, which by the way, it's something I'm really fucking good at. I've said this before, find me some episodes, whether they're indie artists or established artists, Grammy nominated, unknown artists, doesn't fucking matter, that have done segments like the ones that they've done on my show, let alone answer some of the questions that I've asked them on the show. This is something that I have always taken pride in because I have done extensive research when it comes to my guests, and I can tell you that even the ones that have done over 20 years of interviews, I can guarantee them questions that they've never been asked before, and on those episodes, they can confirm that too. I clean up the audio, I even edit the episode frame by fucking frame. I add my own media and so much more. All an artist has to do is show up and record for under a fucking hour. Post airing an episode, I extract and edit every single clip that gets put out into social media. And let's talk about those numbers real quick. I'm a fucking small show. I'm basically a nobody. But let me tell you guys what a fucking small show and a nobody gets you when I promote you for an entire fucking week when you're on my show. Not only do you get the feature, which alone come with thoughtful questions that no one's bothered to fucking ask you before, but on social media alone across all of my small platforms, my guests are averaging between 10 to 15,000 views. And that's just on 5 days alone, sometimes less, okay? Because I'm promoting the episode Monday through Friday, sometimes only Monday through Wednesday or Thursday. There are so many factors as why it varies. However, I can tell you guys that whenever you see me promote an episode where it's just me primarily talking and not the actual guest, it's because I'm promoting an episode with a guest who I invited on who didn't even bother to say thank you for the feature. So therefore, I'm only going to promote me, myself, and my show. So now you know a little unshut secret whenever that happens. It's because a guest had me fucked up and thought that I would be their little bitch all week and only promote them. I've got a show to promote too. I've got me to promote too, okay? Baby, we match energies around here, okay? The same effort you give me is the same effort I'm going to give you back. But back to social media views real quick. That's 10 to 15,000 views you didn't have to work for. That's new eyes through the perspective of me as the host of the show. That's not fucking nothing. On Spotify alone, I'm averaging 6 to 8,000 hits by Monday morning alone. Again, that's not fucking nothing. I am so sick and tired of seeing artists get on social media and make posts like, boo, it's so hard being an artist that no one supports. But when someone like me shows you support, you treat me like shit. So why the fuck are we going on social media playing victim trying to get sympathy views? Fuck you, you just don't want to work for it. Instead, you're holding your breath hoping to be discovered. And I hate to be the one to break it to some of you, but it takes work. You have to put the work in to be discovered. The odds of you just randomly being discovered are slim to none, okay? The least some of you can do is show a little gratitude to someone that came along and wanted to support the art that you're creating. Am I fucking missing something here? I want to go ahead and fully disclaimer that this is not personal between me and the artist. I have no fucking beef with her. This is 100% on representation who probably agreed to something on her behalf without talking to her about it, which is really shitty. I don't know how it got to this, but I don't fucking care. Get your shit together because this is me having mine. Still airing an episode despite going through the fucking trouble to organize an episode for your artist, and now having to air this one instead. Let me tell you guys something. No one's climbed their way to the top without at least one person thinking they were difficult to work with. So if this makes me difficult to work with, don't fucking work with me. My success will not be in the hands of someone who doesn't know how to respect boundaries and expectations, let alone lacks accountability. There are plenty of artists out there looking for a feature. I'm not worried about it. I'm happy doing more solo episodes if that's what it takes. I'll interview fucking animals and Dr. Doolittle that shit before I let anyone be the reason why I keep my mouth shut and not pursue my show. My fucking show. I will not become less for the sake of being used. Absolutely not. So with that being said, if you see me doing more solo episodes, it's because your boy is raising his standards. And sometimes when you raise your standards, a fuck ton of people fall off, and that's okay. Super excited for this week's Weekly Quickie, which will air on Thursday on YouTube only, and even more excited for my next guest on Monday. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'll be enjoying the rest of this week in Italy, so thank you for letting me talk my shit so I could let it out, move on, and have a great week. Ciao. Hey, if you've made it this far, don't forget to follow the socials on the screen or in the description below. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel. See you next week.